ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد کور داد باتورانو کور.
Good evening. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2025. I'm Suleiman Talash and you're watching RTA News. Dr. Abdul Bari Umar, the Chief Executive Officer of the Afghanistan Electricity Company, held a joint meeting with Mr. Murad Artikov, head of Turkmenistan's foreign projects, and Karim Oras, representative of Chalik Turkish company, which is carrying out the operational work of the top project. The Chief Executive Officer of the Afghanistan Electricity Company welcomed Mr. Artikov, Mr. Karim Oras, and the accompanying delegation and praised the development of relations with Afghanistan as a friendly country. At the beginning, Mr. Murad Artikov, head of Turkmenistan's foreign projects, discussed the top project in Afghanistan and expressed his satisfaction with the development of cooperation and relations between Afghanistan and Turkmenistan. Dr. Abdul Bari Umar assured Mr. Murad Artikov of the completion of the initial stages of this major project in Afghanistan and stressed the continuation and strengthening of joint relations and cooperation between Turkmenistan and Afghanistan. The foreign minister says that countries in the region and in the world have realized that relations with the Islamic Emirate are in their interests and want to have positive interactions with Afghanistan. Maulavi Amir Khan Muttaqi says that the Iranian foreign minister's visit to Afghanistan was beneficial overall, and during this visit he discussed with Afghan officials the development of political, economic, transit, trade and diplomatic relations, Chabahar port, and the fate of refugees living in Iran. We have more details in this report.
The visit of Abbas Araghchi, Iranian foreign minister, to Afghanistan was beneficial to both countries. Maulavi Amir Khan Muttaqi, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, in a meeting with Dr. Mohammad Naeem Wardak, the Deputy Minister of Finance and Administration of the Ministry, said that the region and the world want to have positive interactions with Afghanistan.
Both neighboring countries, the countries of the region and the countries of the world, are coming to the conclusion that they should increase their interaction with the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan.
He added that he discussed with Abbas Araghchi, his Iranian counterpart, the development of political, economic, transit and trade relations, Chabahar port, increasing the level of diplomatic relations, sending an ambassador to this country, and the fate of refugees living in Iran, and called on the Iranian side to do tolerance towards the refugees.
The immigrants who live there naturally have problems, whether in banks, security or judicial issues. This was also discussed and it was good and constructive.
Referring to the issue of the right to water from Iranian side, Mr. Amir Khan Muttaqi said that the people of Afghanistan and Sistan are the same in front of the Islamic Emirate. But the problem is that there is a drought in Afghanistan and the available water is scarce for Afghans.
When water is found, even the Prime Minister said that even if there is no agreement or treaty, we consider it our Islamic responsibility to provide water to those people.
It's worth mentioning that the previous day, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi arrived in Afghanistan accompanied by a high-ranking delegation and held talks with many ministers, including the Prime Minister, on various issues.
The Ministry of Mines and Petroleum has signed an agreement with a number of companies worth over 1,790 million Afghanis for 5 blocks of lead and zinc mines in Bamiyan province. Mullah Hidayatullah Badri, the Minister of Mines and Petroleum, in a meeting held in this regard, emphasized the domestic processing of these mines and added that the extraction of these mines will provide employment opportunities for hundreds of citizens. Based on this agreement, the contracting companies will also implement some development projects in Kandahar, Oruzgan, Herat, and Maidan Wardak provinces. Mullah Nuruddin Turabi, the Director of the National Disaster Management Authority, met with the Assistant Director of the International Organization for Migration, Yatya Sakoon, the Program Officer Yasin Al-Hamadani, the humanitarian access officer Adnan Baghjati, and the accompanying delegation. Mr. Turabi, while welcoming the delegation, added that the organization has always participated in humanitarian and technical assistance, for which we are especially grateful, and emphasized joint cooperation in the future. The Assistant Director of the International Organization for Migration said that she is trying to continue her assistance and cooperate with the National Disaster Management Authority. Maulavi Matiul Haq Khalis, the Director General of the National Environmental Protection Authority, met with the Charge d'Affaires of the European Union for Afghanistan. In this meeting, Mr. Khalis emphasized the fulfillment of the commitments made at the International Conference on Climate Change and Environmental Protection. He added that in the past 3 years, the world has viewed the impacts on environment and climate change in Afghanistan from a political perspective, while climate change is a humanitarian problem. In this meeting, both sides also discussed the stalled climate change projects in the country and agreed to form a committee to establish greater coordination. Security forces of the Parwan Provincial Police Headquarters have arrested 6 people in different districts on charges of robbery. According to officials, they also seized some stolen goods from the suspects, which will be returned to their owners.
The brave forces of Parwan Provincial Police Headquarters have arrested 6 people in connection with robbery in various districts, including the capital, in the past 24 hours. Some stolen goods have also been seized from the arrested people, which will be handed over to the judicial organs after completing the files.
For the first time, 250 greenhouses have been built and put into use in 4 districts of Nuristan province. Officials say that each of them cost 400,000 Afghanis. We have more details in this report.
For the first time, 250 greenhouses have been built and put into use in the 4 districts of Nuristan province under the auspices of the Provincial Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock Department, with the financial support of the World Food Programme and the technical cooperation of the Future Generations Afghanistan Foundation. Officials say that each of them cost 400,000 Afghanis, of which 63 were built in Kamdesh, 62 in Bargamatal, 42 in Mandal, and 83 others in the Wab district.
In Nuristan province, Alhamdulillah, under the direct supervision of Department of Agriculture, 250 greenhouses have been built by WFP. The main purpose of these greenhouses is to provide food for the people during short or off-season periods.
On the other hand, the residents of Nuristan are happy with the construction of greenhouses in the province and are asking officials and organizations to cooperate with them in the field of agricultural equipment and improved seeds.
Greenhouses have been built in 4 districts of Nuristan province, and the people of Nuristan are very happy and want to build greenhouses in other districts as well. This has the advantage that since there is a little agricultural land in Nuristan, greenhouses crops are beneficial in Nuristan. We are requesting the central government and partner organizations working in agriculture sector to provide us with improved seeds and other essential items so that we can benefit from them.
It should be mentioned that Nuristan is a mountainous province with little agricultural land and cold weather, so the greenhouses built will play an important role in improving the economy of the people.
The Ministry of Propagation of Virtue, Prevention of Voice and Hearing Complaints has registered 8,331 complaints nationwide in the past 10 months, of which more than 5,000 have been resolved. The ministry says that 1,654 are under investigation of the registered complaints, and the rest have been sent to relevant departments for resolution. The process of stabilizing and transferring 1,000 acres of land for the construction of industrial towns in Herat, Nuristan and Paktia provinces has been completed. The Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock says that based on the decree of Amir al-Mu'minin Hafazahullah, the process of stabilizing land for the construction of industrial towns is being carried out in all provinces of the country. And the final one is that 32 tons of expired and substandard medicines, food and health supplies were burned by the Laghman Professional Food and Drug Administration. According to local officials, the burned materials worth more than 11 million Afghanis were collected from the provincial capital in 5 districts over the past 3 months and burned in the presence of relevant officials. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a good night.
شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوي پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا